That's crazy.
No, it's incredible.
Those are two of the best, like, of this era. I think he's one of the best of all time. I really do. I think he's one of the best heavyweights of all time. And his move.
It's an unbelievable spectacle, and the ring keep providing us with these crazy spectacles and crazy events. It's the location for this one that's just, I can't get my head around it. It'll be the experience of a lifetime. You break it down, and when it comes to the fight, Rico Verhoeven is a problem. He's a problem, and we don't actually know much about him from a boxing perspective, but we know nothing really. He's had one bout, and you cannot take anything from that at all. His kickboxing experience tells you an awful lot.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and, you know, he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ. He looks like he's about 250 now, something like that. And he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super muscled out.
Yeah, for me, it was like, why not accept the challenge? It is, like you said, he's considered arguably like one of the best boxers to ever do it. So what an honor and what an opportunity I have. I've conquered everything within the sport of kickboxing, and now getting the opportunity to do it within the sport of boxing, I love it. Like, never get comfortable.
Boxing insiders are stunned after seeing the latest transformation of Rico Verhoeven, with Eddie Hearn reportedly surprised by just how massive and powerful he now looks. Many across the sport believe Verhoeven has developed into a completely different physical presence ahead of this crossover clash, raising serious intrigue about how his size and strength could translate in the ring. Even supporters of Oleksandr Usyk are starting to take notice of the visible size difference, adding another layer of tension to the matchup.
Was the most exhausted he's ever been, because he's always moving. There's no rest with him. There's like constant, there's constant twitching.
Under fire the whole time.
You're constantly thinking, when is this coming?
Tony Bellew highlights the massive challenge ahead while also acknowledging the physical evolution of Rico Verhoeven, whose size and physique are now being widely discussed across the boxing world. Many fans and experts are surprised by how powerful and well-built Verhoeven looks heading into this crossover clash, adding even more intrigue around whether that physical presence can trouble Oleksandr Usyk in a pure boxing setting.
If this was a kickboxing match, I'm trying to tell you, Alexander's in an awful lot of trouble. Do not take a kick off him. Thankfully for Oleksandr Usyk, this is a boxing match. And I think once them first 3 or 4 rounds pass, and that awkwardness and stance and style Oleksandr Usyk figures out, I think Rico could be in for a hard night's work.
I mean, someone's saying it could change boxing forever if he wins, Rico. How does Rico go about trying to solve that puzzle, obviously?
Be the greatest shock boxing's ever seen. If Rico Verhoeven is to defeat Oleksandr Usyk, it will be the greatest victory in boxing history.
Listen, when I was young, I too using kickboxing, boxing, but I like.
Nobody told me that.
I like, but not like this. Yeah, the crazy man, you know, the legs.
Maybe he throws a high kick.
Yeah, but I like kick and legs on street. Oof, yeah, low kick, maigiri. That's
nice.
Yeah, we training but then my coach is not kickboxing coach, is like jiu-jitsu, you know, wrestling, boxing is one coach, but another sport is like a crazy man. But then I look for a good coach. It's my first coach, Lapin Sergey. Yes, it's good. My father said, "Hey, try boxing." I said, "Okay."
And here you are.
Huh?
And here you are. You tried it, and you've done well.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan highlights the growing trend of crossover fights in combat sports, explaining how they are reshaping the way fans view elite competition. He points out that modern fighters are increasingly stepping outside their primary disciplines to test themselves in completely different environments, bringing both risk and intrigue to these matchups. This adds even more pressure and curiosity around a potential clash between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven, where styles, experience, and instincts from two very different combat worlds would collide.
Space, and I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works. But Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou and
Max Kellerman gives a strong opinion on Oleksandr Usyk's current condition, believing the champion is still operating at his absolute peak. He even notes that Usyk looks physically stronger than before, almost like an upgraded version of himself. While he respects the achievements of Rico Verhoeven, Kellerman makes it clear that in a pure boxing environment, Usyk holds a major advantage in skill, timing, and ring intelligence.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. You're like, what? Jesus Christ, he looks like he's about 250 now, something like that, and he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super muscled out.
Wade Clemens delivers a very emotional and strongly opinionated breakdown of the matchup, clearly showing frustration at the idea of Oleksandr Usyk defending his position against a crossover fighter like Rico Verhoeven. He acknowledges the appeal of spectacle-driven fights in boxing, even referencing examples like Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, but draws a clear line when comparing it to Usyk's situation. In his view, Usyk is a far more complete and technical boxer who does not carry the same vulnerabilities, making the matchup feel one-sided on paper. Still, he admits the unpredictable nature of combat sports, where one clean shot from Verhoeven could change everything, but ultimately questions why an undisputed champion would take such a risk against someone with limited elite-level boxing experience.
This is not a fight I am a massive fan of, and now that I'm free, now that I can kind of, be more open about my opinions on this fight, I fucking hate this fight. I can't stand it. I understand the circus nature of it in terms of big name kickboxer, one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time, coming in to fight an all-time great in the boxing space in his sport. We saw it with Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. The only difference there was, I think, more fans of Francis Ngannou, more of a what-if factor because of his punching power and because Fury was 550 pounds in that fight. Accurate, not even exaggerating. We got a masterpiece in terms of what Francis did to the current heavyweight champion of the world. Now, this is a little different because Oleksandr Usyk is a massively different operator than Tyson Fury. He is a far better technical boxer than anyone at heavyweight, and he isn't really susceptible to one-punch KO power the same way Fury is when he comes in out of shape and blubbery. Now, is there the off chance that Rico catches Oleksandr Usyk? Yeah, sure. I understand. It's a fight. Anything can happen. But why is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world not just taking a recess from fighting the biggest and best boxers on the planet when he is the sitting champion, but also putting his title on the line to fight a kickboxer with one professional boxing match in his career? That's the big part that
Rico Verhoeven speaks with calm confidence as he explains the power and control behind his fighting style. He makes it clear that he is not just relying on raw strength, but also precision and timing when he lands his shots. His transition from kickboxing to boxing is framed as a serious evolution rather than a casual crossover, showing a mindset focused on adapting and refining his skills for a different rule set. Verhoeven genuinely believes his punching power can translate effectively into the boxing ring. That belief is exactly why many fans are starting to view him as a dangerous physical presence for Oleksandr Usyk, rather than just an outsider stepping into unfamiliar territory.
It's very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is he's like crazy excited.
Liam Goff delivers one of the most critical takes in this entire discussion, labeling the fight a pure gimmick and questioning the legitimacy of Rico Verhoeven receiving a world title opportunity. He focuses heavily on Verhoeven's limited professional boxing record, arguing that such a resume does not justify a shot at the World Boxing Council Heavyweight Championship. At the same time, he acknowledges the elite status and dominance of Oleksandr Usyk, which only adds more controversy to the matchmaking decision. His reaction reflects a large section of boxing purists who feel this fight prioritizes entertainment over sporting merit rather than rewarding proven contenders within the division.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money over legacy.
Fabio Wardley gives a balanced and respectful reaction as he tries to understand the reasoning behind Oleksandr Usyk choosing Rico Verhoeven as an opponent. He admits that Usyk has earned the freedom to pick his fights at this stage of his career, but still expresses surprise that the choice was not a more established professional boxer. While he shows respect for Verhoeven's kickboxing background, Wardley clearly draws a line between elite boxing experience and crossover ability. His comments reflect the wider uncertainty in the boxing world about how this fight should be judged competitively, with many still questioning whether it belongs at the highest level of the sport.
And he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Van Hoeven in terms of a kickboxer of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elites.
Dave Allen speaks from personal experience, having sparred with Rico Verhoeven, which gives his assessment real credibility. He shows respect for Verhoeven's achievements in kickboxing and even acknowledges that he has solid boxing ability. However, Allen is firm in his belief that there is still a significant gap between that level and elite heavyweight boxing. In his view, a fight against Oleksandr Usyk at world championship level would likely be too one-sided, suggesting it would make more sense as an exhibition rather than a fully sanctioned professional bout.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in... I like Rico Verhoeven, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight...
Can he box?
Yeah, he can box, he's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple fact it's a mid.
Rico Verhoeven openly praises Oleksandr Usyk and draws a strong comparison between their dominance in two different combat sports. He describes Usyk as the boxing equivalent of himself, a champion who has ruled his division through consistency, discipline, and elite-level performances over many years.